Hi! If you have been doing really well at your lever exercises, then I'm sure you would want to try some work towards planche. Now you can do them on the rings, you can do them on the beam, you can maybe put some on the floor, and I'm hoping that actually more of you will be able to do more of exercises than me. But I'll give them a go and hopefully you'll give them a better go. So, just to be clear, I'm going to show it's front planche we're working on today. So here's my front support. I've got my fingers pointing out the way because to get to my planche shape I need really to move my shoulders forward. So that would be my planche shape, and I would have both legs up in the air in a balance for a planche. But seeing as we're all not quite there yet, I'm going to do some work. So first of all, I'm going to keep my fingers pointing out the way, and it's just a wee bit easier for me to have my hands just very slightly wider than shoulder width. So you can check what's good for you, shoulder width or just off. Up in front support, forward to planche. And I'm just going to go back and forward a few times between those shapes. Every time I lean forward, trying to suck my weight a wee bit further forward. Now, not so that I fall on my face, but just to try and get the strength up in the muscles in my arms in that position, the ones that would be taking all of my weight. And now I'm going to stay here holding that planche shape. So if you use a timer and you practice this a day and then a different day, you'll be able to see if you can hold it a bit longer. And that's me, so I'm not sure how long that was, but it wasn't as long as we'd usually hold a timer for. So that was moving from front support into planche shape, front planche, and then holding that front planche shape in front planche shape. It should be quite doable to do press ups. So let's see. Front support, shoulders forward, and there we go. Depending how you do, see if you can aim for 5 or 10. Obviously just adjust it if you're doing better. So if you're good at your elbows out press ups, that'll help. Now I'm going to go from downward dog into planche shape, 1 press up and back. So before I get into downward dog, I'm going to point my fingers slightly out again, but take it easy. So you don't usually do a lot of these shapes as such with your fingers out, but you do actually on the apparatus, and you'll need to for planche. Downward dog, planche, press up. I'm going to aim for 5. You aim 5's a good start. If you find that quite good, you can see what works for you. So I'm bringing my shoulders past my hands, working the shape for planche, not stopping here in front support and coming further forward again. Here's one you do, you'll recognise this exercise. In your plank, moving your shoulders backwards and forwards. So that's tipping you slightly more towards the planche shape. Getting a feel for where your body would be and working your strength. So set of 20 is probably good. But I haven't been counting. this was interesting, just to up the arm strength a bit for planche. Now, if you can do a one-armed press up with your hand right behind your back and your feet spread for a bit extra balance, you go for it. If you need a bit of extra help, then having, just the same as when you do single leg squats, having your foot up on something helps a bit. So I'm going to try with my other hand up on a book. So more of my weight is on this arm here. And I can also try and put my other hand up on a bit of the sofa, if I can angle myself to make that work. So my right arm's not taking the full weight of a single arm press up, but it's taking more of the weight. So if I wanted to really work on my arm strength, I could do it. And of course I need to now do it on my other arm. Now I'm not advancing the single arm press ups to planche shape, but if you get to a stage where you can power through the single arm press ups, then feel free to move your shoulders further forward than your hands and do them in a planche shape too. Long term aims and all that. Now we all know having your feet up for press ups makes them harder. So you could also do your press ups with your feet up on the sofa or whatever. I was looking to stay in camera range, I'm realising that's an issue. To stay in camera range with my feet up on the sofa and really just get into my planche shape. So here's front support. There, shoulders are further forward. Oh, nothing without slipping. Stay tight. I'm going to practice that a few times. You can have your legs together or straddled, or you would start with a tucked planche. And you could try that lifting one foot or the other off. That would be a feel. So I'm not able to hold myself up at all in that position. But I can use the sofa take my weight. Fingers out, forward to planche, my toes are left on the sofa. And I can try wee jumps. I can try that straddle planche would maybe be the next easy one. Feeling that shape, keeping your legs tight. Feeling the shape of the bus, and again, could lift one leg or the other leg up. Weight bearing in the planche shape with bits of your body supported until we're all able to do the planche. Now I have some exercises in between two chairs, like some of the lever ones. So again, do not be tempted to use a spinny chair, not even with the brake on, just don't do it. Do check with your adult if you are allowed to use. So ideally you want two absolutely solid, don't have any moving parts chairs the same size. But do check always with the adult in your house that you are allowed to use these chairs. And the first thing I'm going to do some similar things to the lever preps, and these would just be good strength exercises for anything, but I'm going to keep trying to head towards that front planche shape because that's the strength I'm working. Got my fingers pointing out again to that end, then going to tuck and then go back to front support. Tuck, back to front support. So if you can keep your tuck high right the way back, then you won't need to fix your shape like me. You can maybe hold your tuck and then push out, whereas I'm needing, my tuck is dropping out a bit at the back. So you give yourself a set of 10 or 2 sets of 5 or 5, whatever. See what works for you and then keep doing it and see if you can improve it a bit further down the line. Next one I'm going to do L hold at the front, then I'm going to tuck back to front support again and do a press up. So these are all good upper body strength for anything, particularly apparatus. L, tuck a bit harder than that, back, press up. Ooh, and just because I'm front supporting back into the corner, I was always doing my press up in a planche shape, which isn't a bad thing, but I'm not feeling just so strong. So yeah, go for it. If you're in front support and you're in your planche shape, go for your press up there, or your normal press up. Either way, you're building up your strength. L, tuck, push, fix your shape. If it fell out like mine, press up. L, tuck back, front support, press up. And again, working towards a set of 10, even if you're breaking it up to get there, sounds like a good number. But if 5 is enough for you, that is absolutely fine. One you'll be familiar with, good old tricep dips. If you can, keep your back support nice and tight. If you need it a bit easier, bend your legs in. So we're all quite familiar with these. Working all these muscles for planche. One we don't do too often, I think they're called Russian dips, is it? Yeah. So in back support, I've got my fingers kind of forward for this one, almost at the edge of the chair really, because I'm going to need room behind me. Back support, elbows down, so if you're doing your back planche, and then back up again. So you probably want to try and do that without being as much of a mess as me. So maybe I'll do the easier version and bend my knees. That would be better getting started. So I can see I'm not very fluid. I'm dropping the last couple of centimetres and I'm having to come up a bit one arm than the other because I'm just not strong enough to do that. So if you need to, do the same as me, pull your feet in to get started if you can. Keep it out long in back support. And here's another one, hopefully you'll be better at than me. I'm going to have my fingers pointing slightly out for an archer press up. So we don't usually do these, but they're a bit more common, so you might have seen them. I'm going to lean to one side and then the other side. You can do these on the floor as well, which you might prefer to do. So ideally you want to lean down a bit lower like you're doing for a press up. I would just fall onto my face. That's as far as I can bend. But again, you can do them on the floor on your knees to get started as well. Ooh, straddle, tuck back to straddle behind. So I'll try that onto the floor and then I'll see if I can suck a fake planche up onto the sofa. So again, these are just working all the shapes, weight bearing on your arms, your core and your body and your balance are having to take care of and adjust to the rest. Straddle, tuck, straddling on the ground. Straddle, to straddle. I'm going to try and get myself up on the sofa for this one at the back into a fake planche. Let's see if I make it. Ready, straddle, sofa, fix my shape. Shoulders forward, only do this if you're very secure with that. I'm secure enough that I think, well, I'm not going to fall onto my face. So stick to front support if you're a bit worried about falling on your face. Practice the shape more on the floor. Straddle, tuck. She tucked to the sofa. Front support, lean a wee bit to planche. And down. And you could do that from tuck, from L, anything, and you could even just hold the shape, but a bit safer again, the way we did it before, with your hands on the ground, to really feel the difference there. From front support, forward to planche shape. All good shapes to hold, all good shapes to do repetitions of. So I'm going to move to the ground now. So a real cheat for a planche would be bending my elbows. I'm going to put my knees right on my elbows. I'm not even going to try and do the tuck thing one leg at a time to start off with. I'm just going to be really cheating, and I'm going to put my knees right on my elbows. Bit like froggy. And if I can hold a balance there, I'll try and lift one knee off. So always a bit of adjusting to get into the right place. So I've got my knee off and just fell down. If you're able to stay up, if you've got the balance, if you've got the strength, you could bring your knee away and back. You could try the same with the other knee. If you're at my stage, just need to keep working on it. You could get some mileage out your froggy balance, maybe. Not really, I don't think my knee's going to move just as easily. But you can certainly do your froggy and try to get one leg away. Just as long as you're careful. Don't want to land on your face. As long as you can put your leg, your foot, your knee down safely, that's fine. So I have also got the tuck, trying to lift your feet. One foot up, just trying to get a bit of a feel. Again, you could prop your feet up on a bit of the sofa or whatever. Got the other leg up now. But either way, just all those wee hops that look like I'm getting nowhere. It is working the strength. It's giving my muscle memory a chance to see what I'm doing. I'm going to tuck my toes into the bit of the sofa between the big cushion and that. Because that's a good height. I can do the same for my front straddle planche. So I'm going to get into a wide-legged front support, lean forward to my planche shape, try and lift one leg up, other leg up. So I can do that in reps, I can do that as a hold, so you could lift one leg up and down 10 times, other leg up and down 10 times. You could lift one leg up and hold it for 10 or 20 seconds. Always working both sides, and that would be you working towards your planche. So you can do that tuck or straddle. And maybe just one more thing. I know Jonathan's good at this one, so hopefully he'll be somebody rattling on well with this. Another way to put your arms to practice your planche shape is digging your elbows in to your ribs and taking the weight on your hands like that. So it saves me a bit of arm strength. I'm not strong enough to do my planche like this, but I can practice the straddle shape anyway like that. I don't think I've got room to do the tuck. I don't even have room for a wrinkle on my mat. So, nice and low to the ground, digging my elbows in. Again, you might need to feel around, so lay down here. Head up, you want to do as if you're doing a back raise, although it won't look like it. Can you get your feet off the ground? Get a bit of a balance going on. So I'm not too worried about turning into a chin balance. I know I can fall over safely. So just be careful, if you don't have a flexible back, you probably want to just be coming down a bit quicker. So again, all your dorsal leg raises, lifting at the back, and your back raises, particularly with your arms at your ears or out to the side. To get a really strong lift will help you with these shapes. Let's do one more, try and keep it in control. Bit of a balance. So I've got a long way to go before I'll be doing planche on the rings, on the beam or anywhere. But I hope some of you give it a try.